Hi friends, today we are going to learn about One Belt One Road, which is also called as Belt and Road Initiative. So friends, I have made this video on the request of Deepika Yadav. You can see her comment. She asked me to make videos on CPEC and OBOR. So this is here I am bringing this video within the 2 days of her request. So if anybody of you, my viewers, have any doubts or any suggestions, if you want me to make videos on particular topic, then without any hesitation you can go and write in the comment section. You are most welcome. So friends, in this lecture we will firstly talk about the brief introduction, ambition of this One Belt One Road project. We will talk about India's objection from this project, and we will also know about some opportunities that are held for India's point of view, and finally the steps taken by India to counter this act of China. So first of all, before we start the topic, we must all know that recently it was in the news. Recently, due to COVID-19 pandemic and the global lockdown, China has faced calls from countries in Asia and Africa to delay or waive the debt repayment. We all know that under this project, One Belt One Road, China has provided huge and massive loans to the poor countries, especially to the developing and low developing countries. So most of the countries, they are finding difficulty in the repayment of the loans. So that is why this is in the problem nowadays. And China started an initiative for Health Silk Route. Amid COVID-19 pandemic, China supplied a lot of masks and equipments related to healthcare facility. So this also acts as a Chinese mask diplomacy. And recently, 2 days ago, we all heard that Myanmar has demonstrated its resistance to China funded economic corridor. We all know that similar to China Pakistan economic corridor, China is also building its corridor in Myanmar, that is called the China Myanmar economic corridor. So nowadays, the Myanmar has shown an resistance that China is doing some mischief activity under this project, and it will not benefit Myanmar, but it will benefit more to the China. Now, coming to the introduction, first point is that China is looking to rebuild the ancient Silk Route through Belt and Road Initiative. Friends, we know that about 2000 or 3000 years ago, China was the largest exporter of silk, and that's why China had a route which was called the Silk Route. It was connecting the Asia with Africa, Mediterranean Sea, and European countries. So China is to export their goods, especially the silk, with this route only. So China wants to revive this route in the 21st century. It is China's ambitious project announced by Xi Jinping in 2013. It covers about 65% of world's population, 60% of world's GDP, and over 70 countries. So friends, it is a great ambitious project, and it constitute about 70 countries of the entire world, and it is said that it will impact, once if it is completed, it will impact about 4.5 billion population of the entire world. This project, the One Belt One Road, it will connect China with Central Asia, Russia, Europe, West Asia, Africa, Southeast Asia, South Asia, and Indian Ocean through construction of modern ports linked to high speed rail and road corridors. So friends, China has great ambitions through this project. They are constructing mega ports, mega roadways and railways, and the corridors in the entire world. It consists of two projects, the Silk Road Economic Belt and Maritime Silk Road. The Silk Road Economic Belt, it is a road or railway connectivity project, and the Maritime Silk Road, it is the connectivity through the ports, connectivity in the oceans. China is spending about more than $1 trillion to revive the new 2000-year-old Silk Route. So China has a great ambition behind this project. Now coming to the aim or objective that China wants to achieve. So BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative. Friends, I have already told that One Belt One Road is also called as Belt and Road Initiative. It will help China access new markets for its excess manufacturing. We all know that China is the world's manufacturer and it is the largest exporter. But nowadays, products manufactured in China, they are non-consumable by its own citizens. So China is currently finding new markets for their products. It will boost the trade from China to the other countries, the African countries, Middle East, and the European countries. It will develop western region of China. Friends, if you don't know, then in China, the most of the important cities such as Hong Kong, Beijing, Macau, Shanghai, they all are located in the northern part of China. And the western part of China is quite a desert and barren, and there is very low development activities in the western part of China. So China has ambition through this project to develop western part as well. The increasing influence and superpower ambitions. We all know that China wants to become the next superpower, replacing USA. Now, coming to the India's objection, then the exact details of the CPEC or even the OBOR, they are not available. China never provided an blueprint of this their project, their ambitious project, and the territorial integrity of India and Kashmir. Friends, if you don't know, then I should tell you that CPEC, China Pakistan Economic Corridor, it is an flagship program under the Belt and Road Initiative, which passes through the India's region, India's territorial region, without the permission of India. Actually, that area is situated in the Gilgit and Baltistan, which is currently occupied by Kashmir. So Indian administration, they say that this is the hurting the sovereignty of India and hurting the territorial integrity of India. And China Pakistan Economic Corridor, I mentioned already, and the string of pearls. So friends, under this project, the China is building and constructing the major ports, the mega ports, and increasing their naval presence in the countries which are surrounding India coastline, such as Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Pakistan, and even African countries. If you can see here some of the ports, I would like to mention that Sittwe port is being developed by China in Myanmar, Chittagong port is being developed in Bangladesh, Hambantota port in Sri Lanka, Malé port in Maldives, and Gwadar port in Pakistan. So friends, you can see one thing common in all these countries. They are the poor economies, and the developing countries, they have very poor GDP. So that's why China is targeting the poor countries so that they can occupy their land, the infrastructure project, if they are not able to repay the loans. Currently, we've seen this similar case in the Sri Lanka Hambantota port. In fact, China had invested huge investment in Hambantota port of Sri Lanka, and when China was not ready to repay the loans, China purchased the island on lease for 99 years. So this gives an strategic disadvantage for India's security from southern side. Now coming to the opportunities for India, then the same opportunities are held for India, that is for China. So economic benefits, yeah, India have a lot of economic benefits under this project. The integration of Eurasia, we heard that this project will connect China with Eurasian countries, European countries, Middle East, and Africa. So obviously, if India becomes the member of this project, if India becomes the part of this project, then it will definitely benefit India. It will improve Indo-China ties as well, and also the infrastructure demands of India will be met through this project. And currently, we all are saying that all the neighboring countries of India, including Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Maldives, they all have accepted this program, the Belt and Road Initiative, except for one country in the South Asia, that is Bhutan, which currently does not have any kind of international relation with China. So if India does not join this project, then India will be isolated in its region. Now coming to the steps taken by India, then the construction of Chabahar port in Iran. Friends, the construction of Chabahar port, it will give an competition to the Gwadar port, which is being developed by China in Pakistan. India is also developing naval ports in Indian Ocean. Countries such as Madagascar, Seychelles, and Mauritius, even Myanmar. So India is also developing naval posts in Indian Ocean countries such as Madagascar, Seychelles, and Mauritius, and even Myanmar and African countries. India currently got islands on lease for defense deployment from Seychelles and even Oman, and India can counter this project of China by alliance with the Western nation. India is making alliance with the like-minded countries such as Japan, Vietnam, Indonesia, USA. We know that Vietnam and Indonesia, they are members of ASEAN. They are also so much angry on China because of their issues in the South China Sea. And USA, we all know that. So India is trying to make alliance with the countries which are against China or which are like-minded with India. And India has its naval presence near to state of Malacca on islands of Indonesia. Recently, India had purchased one island of Indonesia on lease, and that is Sabang Island. So India has a good naval presence in the state of Malacca, and that's why China wants to build and construct a new China-Pakistan economic corridor to ensure their steady oil supply. So this is all in this video. I hope you like the lecture. If you like, then please share and subscribe the channel. That's all. Thank you. Good night. Jai Hind.